up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And listen, there might not be anybody more gangster in the entertainment industry than Bob Iger. I now understand why this cat has been successful at his work, even though he really ain't all of that talented, all right? And he has set up Disney for failure right now. All the problems that Disney is dealing with, you can lay that right at this man's feet, okay? But he's a cold-blooded politician. He understands the game. He is a master chess player, at least in terms of manipulating folks and manipulating situations to his advantage, okay? It's the savviness. This guy is savvy. There's something to be said about a ball-busting prick like Iger, because you know this dude has the juice, okay? He may be a nasty piece of business. He may have set Disney up for all of this failure, okay? But this dude has the juice. He knows how to manipulate, how to move through a situation and set himself up for success. Run down the stuff that this cat has done. This cat set Chapek up. You know he set Chapek up. He got Bob Chapek to take the fall for all of his mess. He saw all of that stuff coming down the pike, right? He saw everything that was about to happen and that he created himself, all the problems he created. And he set Chapek up to take the fall, to look like the bad guy, to look like the guy that didn't know what he was doing, even though he was the one that set it all up. So then he gets this guy up, out, and gone, and then he comes back and he's the big hero. Y'all remember that? Bob Iger came back and you had all of these Disney heads, these Disney files celebrating, clapping, and cheering like they just won the lottery. These guys was all on high-fiving. Yeah, Bob is back, baby. I'm like, this is the dude that set all of that shit up. Are you kidding me? But we saw that. This is, again, that's the savviness of this dude. He already knew what was happening. He was going to come back, hail the conquering hero. All right? And then after that, right after that, he's supposed to be finding his successor, right? He's supposed to be staying out there saying, you know, I'm just coming back for a couple of years. I'm going to get the ship back on track. I'm going to find a successor, somebody to take my spot. All right? I'm giving it 2 years. So in 2024, guess what? We're going to go ahead and get a new CEO. We're going to be all right. What the headlines say? Bob Iger to keep running Disney until 2026. Originally supposed to exit in 2024. This guy's a ruthless piece of work, man. This dude was supposed to be finding people to take his job. He been firing folks, okay? Remember, he got rid of Perlmutter, right? He got rid of Victoria Alonso. Not to say that they necessarily would have took over as CEOs, but, you know, he just cleaning out the rubbish, okay? Then he gets rid of Christine McCarthy. Christine McCarthy was probably somebody that had their eye on that job. Nah, I don't need you around. Okay? Or maybe Christine saw the writing on the wall like, this motherfucker ain't going nowhere. Bob like, we ain't going nowhere. Because it's mouse house for life. This cat is a fool. Bob is like, I ain't going nowhere. Okay? I'm not going nowhere. This is my company, punk. All right? What y'all thought? My company, punk, like Debo and shit. All right? Probably gonna snatch somebody's chain when he leave the parking lot. Man, this dude is out of control. All right? He set all of that up just so he could come back and get a longer extension. All right? And look, this isn't even the worst part. Look at this. This is on Variety. After he gets that extension, the day after he gets a multi-year extension on his original agreement, didn't find one CEO to take his place. He ain't even tripping. He says, oh yeah, the writers and actors are not being realistic with the strikes. It's very disturbing to me. I mean, damn, this dude is like, yeah, y'all not realistic. Oh, my multi-year contract extension? That's realism, okay? That's realism because I set it up like that, okay? But you guys, no, y'all not being realistic. And look, this was a couple of weeks ago. This cat was getting mass renovations on his $33 million mansion while cats is getting laid off. People losing their job. Bob like, yeah, you know, we got to call the contractor because we got to do some things to the mansion. Yeah, I'm looking at the plans right now. This looks amazing. This looks incredible. Yeah, especially with the West Wing. I love what you've done with that. We add the pool and the spa right there together. It's amazing. Oh, wait, hold on a second. What? Oh, God, it's one of those writers. Give me a second. Give me a second. What do you want? A raise? Good God. No, I'm sorry. We ain't got it. Yeah. These aren't plans or anything for a house. No. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, close the door on your way out. Oh, wait, hold on. One more thing. The writers, you guys are being a little unrealistic, okay? A little unrealistic, buddy. All right? It's kind of disturbing to me. All right? All right, enjoy the picket line. Yeah, all right. Close the door. Bob don't care. Bob got to put a new extension. He got to fix the West Wing up, okay? That's what's going down right now. And actually, let's go ahead and listen to Bob Iger's comments, the comments that he made himself from the horse's mouth. Let's listen to this.
Speaking of content, we're in the midst of a writer's strike, and very likely it would seem to have a actor's strike. How is that going to impact things, and what are your expectations there?
Well, I think it's very disturbing to me. We've talked about disruptive forces on this business and all the challenges that we're facing and the recovery from COVID, which is ongoing. It's not completely back. This is the worst time in the world to add to that disruption.
Now, look, he's not wrong about that. I've already said that. This is the worst time to be coming to somebody looking for a raise, all right? So from that standpoint, he's right. It's not really realistic for you to ask for a raise at this particular juncture. You know, all of these studios are losing money. You see all of these box office flops we keep talking about. Indiana Jones and the Dial, he got most of them, right? Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Elemental, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. This guy's been losing money left and right. Little Mermaid, okay? This cat is not wrong about that. He has a lot of money that's getting drained out of the system, and they're just losing money. They're not making the money back. Star Wars ain't popping. Marvel's really not popping like it was. So, yeah, in a way, Bob Iger is 100% right, but he fails to mention that it's kind of his fault that all of this stuff has been set up this way. This cat's the CEO.
I understand any labor organization's desire to work on the behalf of its members to get the most compensation, to be compensated fairly based on the value that they deliver. We managed as an industry to negotiate a very good deal with the Directors Guild that reflects the value that the directors contribute to this great business.
Yeah, that's because the directors have value, okay? I said that before. They wasn't going to let the Directors Guild go on strike because they need the directors, all right? They need the directors, and they kind of need the actors a little bit more than they need the writers. The writers are the last men on the totem pole. That's the last ones they're going to get to. That's why you heard them say, we can starve those writers out, all right? We can wait till them dudes go homeless, all right? I did a video about that. I'll link it above if you didn't see that. We could just cancel Christmas for the writers. We're not really worried about them. We do need the actors. So I do think eventually with this writer strike circulating, they will eventually get to the actors and they will make a deal with the actors well before they make a deal with the writers. That's for damn sure.
We wanted to do the same thing with the writers, and we'd like to do the same thing with the actors. There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic. And they are adding to a set of challenges that this business is already facing that is, quite frankly, very disruptive.
So they're not being realistic?
No, they're not.
Why not?
I can't answer that question. I respect their right and their desire to get as much as they possibly can in compensation for their people. I completely respect that. I've been around long enough to understand that dynamic and to appreciate it. But you also have to be realistic about the business environment and what this business can deliver. It is and has been a great business for all of these people, and it will continue to be, even through disruptive times.
Yeah, you see that? That's that political savviness, all right? He's setting himself up. It's not me. It's not the studios. No, it's these greedy writers. They don't understand the situation. They don't understand where they're at. And to an extent, he is correct. But again, this guy's the CEO. This guy's the CEO, and it seems like he's trying to push all of the blame or all of the problems that this guy had a hand in creating, all right? He's the guy that kind of spearheaded Disney Plus that led to a lot of the issues, streaming particularly, led to a lot of the issues that Disney is having right now. All of the bloat that's sitting there with Disney Plus, they're losing billions every quarter. It's kind of his brainchild. Now, that's not to say that they never should have went there, okay? But this guy keeps laying the blame at the feet of other situations, and he never comes and looks at himself and says, you know what? That was on me. Like this one right here. You see it says, too many TV shows diluted focus at Marvel and played role in box office disappointments, says Bob Iger. See, he's going to blame the diluted focus, all right? Well, who's asking for all of these TV shows? Oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. That's how he's playing it off. Okay. Oh, when I was gone and Bob Chapek was running the place, all that Bob Chapek. Yeah, he was running amok and just, started greenlighting all of these stupid shows. We didn't need all of this stuff. But we needed content to fill up Disney Plus, Bob. Like, where was we going to get content from? People was going to expect Marvel shows. I guarantee you that this dude was behind all of that. Okay. All of these whack, terrible shows down here at the bottom. All right. I mean, he's wrong about it in the first place because look, this idea of taking away focus and attention would only make sense if it was like the same creatives, making all of these shows, all right? But you look at all of these various shows, they all had different showrunners. They all had different actors for the most part. They all had different writers. Okay, so this has nothing to do with diluted focus. All of those individual directors and showrunners and writers and actors, they were pretty much primarily focused on their show. So it wasn't diluted focus for them. Maybe Kevin Feige might have been stretched a bit thin, but if he had hired good people to begin with, he wouldn't have had this problem. Every show would have been a banger. All right. Or he wouldn't have greenlit some of these terrible shows until they were bangers. All right. That's how this thing would have went. All right. So yeah, him blaming diluted focus. That's again a CEO doing that political savvy talk when the reality is it's just whack woke content that ruined all of this crap. And he don't want to ever admit that. He will never admit, nah, we went too woke with it. Okay. We was way too woke. We got to peel back on some of that wokeness. All right. He'll never say that. He will only sit back and blame everybody else. It was bad writing all along, Bob. It's just the bad writing, all right? So you can sit up here and try to blame the diluted focus all you want to, all right? And ultimately, this is just blaming Kevin Feige, all right? Eventually, we're going to get to the point where Bob Iger is laying this at the feet of Kevin Feige. Sucks to be Feige right now, okay? But I did tell you guys that Kevin Feige has always been lucky. He thought he had this nice little copy-paste formula that he could just throw on all of these various characters, and it was always going to work. Well, Kevin Feige was wrong, all right? But nevertheless, Bob is going to eventually blame him. And this is the thing about it. He can be a gangster all he wants to, all right? This ruthless tactics of blaming everybody else, all right? Of operating the company from the shadows for 11 months and then blaming the replacement CEO, all right? So then you can come back and be the hero. All of that stuff is cool. And then you can throw everybody else up under the bus. But eventually, there is going to be nobody to blame but yourself, all right? Eventually, you need to get a win. But Bob still has political pieces and pawns that he can play. He's got Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm, okay? People are anxiously waiting for that situation to kind of get rectified, okay? Kathleen's gone or whatever. He's got the Pixar situation with Pete Docter. People are starting to come down on his head, all right? Blaming Pete Docter for a lot of the problems that's going on over there at Pixar. If he rectifies those two studios, those two situations in a satisfactory way, he comes out smelling like a rose. Bob to the rescue again. Even though he's the one that allowed this stuff to get this way, he'll still come out looking and shining like a rose. That's the political savvy that I'm talking about, all right? They're also talking about he could sell off assets like ESPN or ABC. He could possibly sell those off and get Disney back into the black. And then, oh yeah, Bob Iger was the guy all along. That's exactly the guy that we needed at this particular time, at this time of crisis. Isn't it great that Bob Iger was here? You see, for the most part, to the general public and from the mainstream media, he's been able to avoid all of this negativity, all of the major criticism that Disney is a part of. It's been able to get pushed off to other people, other situations, everybody else, not me. Blame it on the pandemic, blame it on Bob Chapek, all right? Blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the rain, whatever. This guy has been able to blame everybody but himself and then parlay that into an extension for millions of dollars for all the mistakes that this cat has made. That's what I'm talking about when I say this dude is savvy. Anyway, folks, what do y'all think about Bob Iger, Bob Iger's extension? Any of Bob Iger's comments? I think it's just showing what kind of a ruthless guy this dude is, all right? He knows how to maneuver his way through the political machinations of Hollywood. The man is just a cold-blooded, ruthless businessman, all right? But he's a terrible entertainer. He's done Disney dirty, and very dirty. With all the properties that he has, he should have been the biggest game in town. And this guy has absolutely ran this company into the brink of disaster. But somehow he's parlayed that into millions and millions of dollars, an extension on his contract. I mean, damn, what can you say? But hey, man, this guy knows how to play the game. Anyway, folks, you guys go ahead, jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.